There's still people joining, so I think we'll wait for another couple of minutes before we begin. Okay, I think we can begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this evening's final session, which is the closing session for SCCS-Bengaluru 2022. And after days of watching screens, it would be nice to see some people, actually. So if you can, and if you would like to, please do switch on your videos so that we actually have some human interaction, and we can see each other's faces. That would be nice. Well, first of all, thank you so much to all of you for joining us for SCCS 2022. We know as organizers and as participants that the online mode of conferences can be challenging, and it can be difficult to sustain energy and attention over 4 days of various sessions. But thank you so much for sticking it out with us. When we had to take the call about whether we wanted to have this conference online or in person, there was talk of a third wave. There was talk of new variants of the virus that could escape immunization. And so rather than risk having SCCS become a potential super spreader event, we thought, just to be on the safer side and have our participants also protected, that we'll do this online. Very, very hopefully, next year we'll be back in person, and we'll all be able to meet each other and actually have interactions, make new friends, build new partnerships in person in 2023. Well, we've had a very, very interesting 4 days, a set of plenaries that spanned a wide variety of topics from ecology to society and politics and economics and activism. Couple of very, very interesting panel discussions on theatre and conservation, and as well as our regular panel discussion on careers in conservation. A number of workshops over the 4 days that were also very, very diverse and varied in the subject matter that they were tackling. And of course, the highlight of every SCCS, the star of the show, which is the student talks and the student posters, which were all very exciting and interesting to look at. And we will be announcing the winners of the student talks and the student posters at the end of this session. So do hang around and stick around for that. Well, even though this edition was online, it did take a lot of people and organizations to come together to get this done. And we're really thankful to a number of people and a number of organizations for various forms of support. And I'd like to invite Nayana Udayashankar, our conference administrator, to give a shout out to all of these people and institutions.
Thank you, Umesh. If I could just take a minute to share my screen. Yeah, so as Umesh rightly said, I think it's time to take a sort of look back on the 4 days of events that we've had. And not just at the events, but also at the people that have made these 4 days happen. We had our plenary speakers, a really wide range of speakers. We had Dr. David Haskell, Dr. Nandini Vello, Dolly Kikon, Joshua Daskin, Catherine thank you, Catherine Stanger Hall, and Dr. Madegowda, who actually gave us such thought-provoking talks and really set the day for us every morning and closed the day for us every evening. And we had, after which, thank you, plenary speakers, for saying yes to us as soon as we wrote to you, and just being there at every moment when we had to put together all the talks, and being there for such powerful talks, actually. We had 2 very interesting panel discussions. So this year at SCCS, we really wanted to see how we can bring the arts into conservation, the field of conservation science. And for that, we had the theater in conservation panel, and Abhisheka, Vikram, Sriharsha, Sangeeta, thank you for the wonderful discussion that you had. And interestingly enough, it really, we got together the whole event, not just in terms of this discussion, but also in terms of having stories and songs and like an appeal to connect to our emotional side from the plenary speakers as well. So it really came together, and I hope all of you have something to take away from this. The other panel that we had was our careers in conservation panel, and panelists have, we had Sugandhi, Saurav, Gopi Krishna, and Stella, who brought out their different experiences. They've chosen very diverse paths, but in the larger area of conservation science. I hope all of you who are listening in have had your questions, at least some of them, answered. And I know our panelists have put in a lot of effort meeting before the panel to get to know each other, to really find out what the students of SCCS really want to know about. And they'll also continue to put their efforts to answering all of your questions. Thank you so much. Of course, we had over 40 workshop resource persons and such a wide range of workshops. I will not be able to go through every one of them, but I know that you've given a lot of time and effort to putting together the 2 hours that we gave you every day for the workshops. I'll just give it half a minute for all of you to just go through the names, because I think it's very important that we acknowledge their efforts. So there's a lot that all of you see as participants at SCCS, but there's a lot that goes on behind the screens as well. And there's a whole team that's hustling and bustling to put it together. The first team I would really like to acknowledge is the abstract reviewers team. Every abstract that you send us goes to at least 2 reviewers, sometimes 3 and sometimes 4. Each of these reviewers are stalwarts in their own field, and according to their expertise, they were requested to review abstracts. And not only have they given us their time to look and score abstracts, they've also given very detailed comments to each and every abstract. And those of you who have submitted abstracts this year will probably know what I'm talking about. This is something that I think SCCS prides itself on, SCCS Bangalore. definitely want you to have an experience where whether you're selected for a talk or a poster or not, you will benefit from the reviews that you get. And that is all because our abstract reviewers, there's another whole slide of it, our abstract reviewers have given us their time, their effort, and been so generous with all of their resources in giving us the reviews which we could then pass on to you. Thank you all so much. We also had judges for posters and talks. Atira Perincheri, Anirban Dattaroy, Kulbhushan Suryavanshi, Kalpita Bhar, Nimisha Dahal, and Shivani Jadeja. They have not only watched all of your talks and presentations. I know some of them have even gone back to review what had happened that day, to watch it a second time, just so that they can be really, really perfect with their scoring. Thank you so much for giving us your time and giving all the students your thought. We would also like to hear from you after we go through this presentation. Every aspect of SCCS actually has a whole team of people working on it. All of these people are putting in their time and effort freely. And like I said, very generous contributions. With respect to the plenary aspect of the conference, we have a plenary working group which had Arti Sridhar, Sahil Nijhawan, Atira Perincheri, Buddhaditya Das, Munib Khanyari, and Saloni Bhatia. For the workshops working group, we had Ovi Thorat, Elrika, Madhuri, Pranav, and Anand. And abstracts working group, we had Madhura, Nachiket, and Amit. All of them have met multiple times, had very long meetings, put in a lot of time to just go through every little bit. If it is a workshop submission, then to really discuss what the workshop submission is about. If it's an abstract, to discuss where it should go, who the reviewer should be. If it's a plenary, who is the best person to call. They've contributed their time, resources, and also their own contacts in this in the world of conservation science. And it's because of all of this has come together that we've had this 4-day event. Of course, nothing works without the volunteers of SCCS. And I think that's been a statement that cannot be said enough. A lot of you would have interacted with the volunteers in different ways. Let me tell you, they've put in a lot of effort, not just over the 4 days, but much before, just to understand what has to be done, to do it on time and to do it so perfectly. Thank you all so much for making sure that these 4 days were held together. And we have our administrative support. Of course, this was an online conference, so we really needed all the support we could get from our website and conference logistics team. We had Alpcor Network Events and Conference Management Company Private Limited, which was handling all of the conference logistics. Thank you, Saurabh, Sumant, Shazia, Ritesh, Chetan, Gulshan, and Tarun. Especially Saurabh and Sumant, who have taken my calls very late in the night just before the conference and done things very quickly and just been there with us every step of the way. For finance management, we had Nature Conservation Foundation supporting us. Smita and Vinay, thank you for making sure we have our numbers correctly and we have everything we need to get done in terms of compliances, and for answering my sometimes bizarre questions about what happens with the money and how refunds work. And for creatives, so every one of the images that you're seeing on this slide presentation, things you have seen, a lot of the images you've seen on the website and on the social media posts is all thanks to Swada. Swada has put in a lot of effort to thinking through each little aspect of the creatives. If it's who is who, then she's asking about what really is representative of who is who and trying to bring that out in the creatives. And I know she's put in a lot of thought and work into every one of them. Thank you, Swada. I think no idea really takes shape for a long time without people having thought about it long and hard. And this is the Advisory Welfare Council and the Advisory Committee are two such aspects of SCCS where that have actually put in a lot of effort to thinking through what the SCCS represents, and being there for us at any time we need to figure out where we are headed and what the objective of the conference is. We have Ashia Bose, Jayashri Ratnam, Kavita Ishwaram, MD Madhusudan, Suhail Khader, and Marianne Manuel in the Advisory and Welfare Council. We have a bigger team supporting us as the Advisory Committee from various institutions that are representative of the best in the field of conservation. I'll give you a minute, half a minute to just quickly go through their names. And finally, we have the core team of SCCS-Bengaluru 2022. In the organizing committee, we have Nupur, Samira, Siddharth, Srinivas, and Umesh and Venkat, who've really put this conference together this time around. I don't know how many of you know about this, but the work on the conference starts as soon as the previous conference is done. So it's about a year's worth of thinking and meetings and talking and a whole lot of other things that goes into making every conference. It has gone into making these 4 days as well. And I've worked as a conference coordinator with all of them very closely, and I know how much time and effort it's taken each one of them. Finally, everything needs finances to run, and these are our list of donors that we are very thankful for. They've contributed to us in many different ways and kept the conference running. Thank you so much. We are hoping for as vibrant and probably a bigger physical conference next year. And we hope to see all of you there as well. Over to you, Umesh.
Thank you, Naina. Well, a couple of things before we move on to the next part of this session. One is that could we have all the volunteers show themselves, please, because they've done a fantastic job over the last 4 days, and we want to thank the volunteers once more. We can't clap, of course, but let's just do jazz hands. Thank you so much to all the volunteers for really doing a fantastic job and keeping all of this on track. There's so much to worry about and to manage, and you guys have been fantastic. Thank you. Well, of course, most of the work of this conference falls on the shoulders of the conference coordinator, who just thanked everybody but herself. And as organizing committee members, we're often bothering her about all sorts of large and small issues, and Naina had really had to be on top of things, and she's done a fantastic job. It's largely because of her that this has actually happened. And Naina, thank you so much on behalf of all the participants, on behalf of all of us at the organizing committee, on behalf of everybody. Thank you very much for ensuring that this conference was happened the way it did. Right. So yeah, again, thank you, Naina. A reminder to all the participants that the Slack workspace for the conference will be open for a couple of days. So do go on to that Slack workspace. Look at those channels if you have any questions that you're asking. Other participants, plenary speakers, panelists, and so on. You can still do that for a couple of days because that Slack workspace will be open. Now we get to the winners of the poster presentations and the student talks. This is every year at SCCS. This is a very, very challenging job to do, to actually pick out of so many people, two people who are designated as winners, whereas and that's a job that we give our judges, and it's a very, very tough job. And sorry, Prajaz, I do know that our talk and poster judges had a lot of trouble getting to those final two names. But I'd like to invite Nishma Dahal, Dr. Nishma Dahal, to please give us some feedback give the participants some feedback about their poster presentations and to announce the poster winners, please.
Hi, Umesh, thank you. And yeah, I agree. We really had really tough time deciding the top two posters. So we all must congratulate the presenters because they had put up a phenomenal work. And the posters were rated based on originality and creativity, organization and logical flow of the presentation, knowledge of the method, neatness of the layout, and finally the overall presentation. And so judges have given feedback on all the posters. So if the presenters want to have a look at it, you may request for that to the organizers. So without further delay, I'm very pleased to announce the top two posters in no particular order. And so these two posters particularly excelled based on creativity and originality. And they are What If Thinking in Conservation Research by Priyanjana Pramanik, and Predator Suppression and Prey in the Himalaya by Janice Patel. So congratulations to both of you and all the presenters. We really had tough time deciding the top two. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Nishma. And congratulations to Priyanjana and to Janice for their excellent posters. But like Nishma says, it was very, very difficult to pick the final two people. And so congratulations. I'd like to invite now Dr. Kulbhushan Singh Suryavanshi from the Nature Conservation Foundation. He was one of the judges on the talks panel, and I'd like to invite him to give some feedback on the student talks as well as announce the student talk winners.
Thank you, Umesh. So on behalf of Anirban, Athira, and myself, who are the judges, firstly, congratulations to the review and abstracts committee for really putting together a set of very diverse and very inspiring talks. We were impressed with many things, but one of the things that stood out also was the quality of slides this time. A good slide has limited text, which doesn't distract the reader. A good slide has good illustrations and pictures, but not things that move around too much and distracts again. So many of you used your own illustrations by your friends, very interesting graphics. So congratulations on that. That was something very nice to see. It was also very nice to see that students were talking not only about the data and the information they collected, but also they were reflecting and sharing that reflection. I think a good talk is not limited to presenting data and interpreting it. I think a good talk is a good story. And it was very nice to see many of you do that. Overall, the quality of the talks was really good. We judged them based on originality and creativity, logical presentation of ideas, neatness of the slides, graphs, and data, knowledge of the subject and the material being presented, and of course, the overall presentation. I would like to say it took us 45 minutes of discussion to actually come down to the two. There could have been many others who could as easily have been chosen as the winners. It was a difficult decision. So again, in no particular order, the two, like Umesh said, designated winners are Bats in the Classroom and Intervention-Based Study of School Children's Perception of Bats in Maharashtra by Nayantara Siriguri. Congratulations. And the other one was impact of urbanization on taxonomic and functional diversity of spider assemblages in Guwahati city, Assam by Ankita Sharma. Congratulations to both the winners.
Thank you so much, Kullu, for that feedback to the winners. Congratulations, Nayantara and Ankita. Well done. But again, you know, the judges fought quite a bit before they were able to, you know, select those two winners. So congratulations to them. Nayana has just reminded all of us that the Slack channel is going to be open for another 4 days. So there is time for you all to engage further with the conference. The actual events of the conference are ending today, but the Slack channel is going to be open for 4 more days. So please do take the opportunity to engage more on that platform. We usually end with a group photo outside J.N. Tata Auditorium, but that's obviously not going to be possible this year. But if we could, as many people as can, could please switch on your videos, and if you're okay with it, then you just do jazz hands, and I'll take a screenshot as a group photo if that's fine with all of you. Yeah. And there are 2 pages, so we're going to take 2.
Can everyone turn their videos on? I can see a lot of people with their videos off. No fun in that.
I think we've got as many videos on as there are likely to be now. Everyone, thank you very much for participating at SCCS 2022. And if everybody could, and I'm going to take a screenshot of that. And please continue because there's another page here. Thank you. Oh, there's yet another page. Go on, don't stop. Thank you so much, folks. You know, I hope you all had as much fun participating in the various sessions as we did, setting it up as the organizing committee and the conference coordinator. And we're pretty sure at this point in time that 2023 will be an in-person conference. So hopefully we will all be able to meet in person in 2023 in Bangalore. Until then, all the very best to all of you. Take care and see you all next year.
A quick request for the volunteers and the organizing committee and Nayana to please stay behind. Thank you so much, everyone. See you next year in person.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Thank you.